Well, welcome everyone to the February 20th Public Council meeting for the town of Conception Bay South. It's great to have some guests in the back this evening. Thank you for coming. We start as always with our land acknowledgement. The town of Conception Bay South would like to respectfully acknowledge the territory in which we gather as the ancestral homelands of the Beothuk and the island of Newfoundland as the ancestral homelands of the Mi'kmaq and Beothuk. We also respectfully acknowledge Labrador as the traditional and ancestral homelands of the Innu of Nitassinan, the Inuit of Nunatsiavut, and the Inuit of Nunatuavut. We strive for respectful partnerships with all the peoples of this province as we search for collective healing and true reconciliation and honor this beautiful land together. First up, adoption of agendas and minutes. Adoption of the meeting agenda for tonight. Moved by Councillor Hardy, seconded by Councillor Connors. All in favor? Adoption of the meeting minutes from February the 6th, moved by Councillor Tilley, seconded by Councillor Butler. All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried. And business arising from previous minutes will be dealt with at this meeting and meetings in the future. Visitors, presentations, and petitions. Well, we have a special group with us this evening visiting council tonight. And I just wanted to say a few words about them before I have them up. But this is the Pathfinders of Chamberlains. They're a group of 24. I'm not sure all 24 are here this evening, but there's quite a few of them here. And they also have 7 guiders that work with them. This summer, they are planning to do a trip to England and France, I believe, as part of working through their, I think their travel requirements. And I believe even just being here at council this evening, they are working on a badge. And, you know, it's great to have you here. And I just want to say a couple of things about this group of Pathfinders and their guiders. They've helped with such projects as the Gateway Community Garden, food bank drives, town cleanups, tree plantings, seniors engagement, and support of our veterans on Remembrance Day, amongst other things that they do. And it's great to have you here. And I believe you're here as part of a badge that would have you learn more about municipal government and how it works. So it's great to have you. And at this time, I'm going to invite all of you up so we can get a picture, and invite all council up to join the Pathfinders this evening for the picture. If you would come up, please. Come on up.
So I'm gonna get it behind here.
I can. No.
Everybody say Guatemala.
Good. Thank you. Sure.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yep. Let's take them down. We have a gift for you, so we're going to take them down. Yeah. There we go. There we go. We're handing out parting gifts already. So this group will be traveling to England and France this summer as part of their guiding group. And of course, if there's anyone out there that would like to help support that group, I'm sure that they would be accepting of any donations, of course. And I know you're all looking forward to that trip. They always say that travel is the great educator. So enjoy it and have a safe trip over there. And and enjoy the time. And thank you on behalf of the town for all the things that you do to support our residents and our community. We greatly appreciate it. It's a wonderful effort. Pathfinders of Chamberlains. Thank you very much. Okay. This evening, I'm going to start a new business with a note of profound sadness on the part of our council and our town to honor the memory of Paradise Councilor Elizabeth Laurie after her courageous battle with cancer that unfortunately came to a close, I believe, early Monday morning. We, of course, offer our sincere condolences to her husband, Harold, daughters, Lori and Grace, and all of her family and friends, and of course, council colleagues in Paradise and all over the province. Councillor Laurie served the people of Paradise for nearly 15 years as a councillor and also served in the role there as deputy mayor. Our councils here in CBS over the years worked with Elizabeth at the municipalities Newfoundland and Labrador level. She strongly advocated for women in politics as part of municipalities NL Women's Caucus and was awarded the 2022 Women of Inspiration Award from MNL. We joined here in Conception Bay South as a council in her campaign of Believe. And we did, and we still do. We believe in what Elizabeth worked for and what she stood for. She was a dedicated volunteer for the people of Paradise and indeed the people of Newfoundland and Labrador. And even through all of this, she has contributed to enhance so many lives in our province. We are simply here this evening mourning the loss of a friend. So I would ask us all now to observe a moment of silence to honor the life and memory of Elizabeth Laurie. Thank you. So this evening, as part of new business, we'll start with Councillor Shelley Moores. Councillor.
Thank you, Mayor Bent. I just want to, when I first decided that I was going to get into politics, Councillor Elizabeth Laurie was probably one of the first people that ever reached out to me. And what struck me about her right off the bat is how she was just so welcoming. She was so nice. She offered any advice. If I ever had any questions, to reach out to her. If I wanted her help, she would be there. You know, and I've seen her at many events related to council, related to other things. And, you know, this is very heartbreaking to say the least. She was a fantastic human being and she just wanted the best for everything. And I just really want to send, you know, condolences to her husband and her children. Life can be really cruel at times, and I think this is one of the times that it really was. And I just send all my love to them. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Morris. Deputy Mayor Goss.
I wasn't expecting you to come over here that quick. I have a special connection to the Laurie family. So this has been, it's been a difficult time for them. Sorry.
Understandable, Deputy Mayor. Councillor Hardy, would you like to start, please?
Oh, I've met Councillor Elizabeth Laurie a handful of times, and all of the times that you've met her, when she walked into the room, she's just smile. She glows. Even when she was going through her treatments, we were at a family wedding, and you didn't even know that what she had on, the burden on her plate again. And it wasn't until a week later she got her, I guess, the diagnosis, the second or last diagnosis. you see this person walk in doing so good for so many people and really just wanting to make a change in the world. It's really hitting everyone hard. Two beautiful young girls, an amazing husband, an amazing family. And I've read a lot of posts about Elizabeth, and I think the one that hit home with me to most was the CAO from the town of Paradise, Lisa Niblock. Her courage was her crown, and she wore it like a queen. And I think it's so fitting for Elizabeth because she never backed down. Right to the last day, she did not back down. So, thank you.
Thank you, Counselor Hardy. Counselor Butler.
Thank you, Mayor. I remember when we were doing the Believe campaign and on social media, she had asked everybody sort of to do little Believe signs and little videos and things like that. And it was a stormy day here in CBS, and I made a sign myself and went down to Manuel's River actually and got my husband to take the video for me, and I sent it to Elizabeth, and it was on social media. And I wish I'd bought that sign here tonight. I do have it home. But as the others have said, when you walk into the room, she probably was the first one to come over and greet you. I mean, the smile on her face was just from ear to ear and was just unbelievable. Her friendliness, her kindness was just unbelievable. And I am so sorry for her family. My condolences to them, to the rest of her family, to her colleagues, to Andrea, and to everybody in Paradise, CBS, and all the different municipalities who've gotten to know her over the years. She'll never be forgotten because the smile will just last forever and ever. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Counselor Butler. Counselor Tilley.
Thank you, Worship. I too as well had the pleasure of knowing Elizabeth for many years. We've attended many functions on council, and it's certainly going to be a big void for not only the council but the residents of Paradise. And we certainly pass on our condolences to the family.
Thank you, Counselor Tilley. Counselor Hillier.
Thank you, Worship. I'm not sure that I've ever met Ms. Laurie, but certainly my family has been affected by cancer as her family has, and I'm sure most of us around the table. So on our behalf, I want to pass along our condolences to the Laurie family and certainly to our colleagues and the Paradise Council. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor Hillier. Counselor Connors.
Thank you. I also want to send along condolences to the family and friends of Councillor Laurie. Like Councillor Hillier, I never really did. I've met her on a few occasions, but it was only just in passing type thing. But sometimes you really don't know how someone personally affects you or recognize or appreciate what they do for a community until something like this happens, because she went about it without any fanfare or anything like that. She just did what came natural to her. And so this is certainly the case with Councillor Laurie. And the stuff that I've read and heard about her leadership and her determination and how she inspired so many people throughout this is a legacy, I guess, that her friends and her family and the town of Paradise and anyone that known her will always have to forever. Like this is a memory that will be a very positive thing of what she did, and I'm sure, as Councillor Butler mentioned, other people mentioned, like she will continue to be remembered as the great person that she was. So once again, condolences to the family, friends, and the town of Paradise.
Thank you, Counselor Connors. Counselor Barrett.
Thank you, Your Worship. Very, very sad day and heartbreaking to hear the news. And I've had the pleasure of being in a few meetings with Councillor Laurie. I didn't know her on a personal level, but what I will say is that as much of a strong representative as she was for women in politics, she also entered council with the Young family. And as a elected official with the Young family, it was very encouraging to see others that's have been able to navigate that before me. And it's always great to see folks wearing many hats and having responsibilities on both sides. And she was able to navigate that wonderfully. And it's a huge void for the town of Paradise. And it's, as we're chatting this evening, it's a very heavy for us as well. And so I pass along my condolences and best wishes for her family and the residents of the town of Paradise.
Thank you, Councillor Barrett. Deputy Mayor,
I'll try again.
thank you.
As I started to say, I have a connection to the family. Elizabeth's sister and I have been dear friends for 35 years, thereabouts. And it's really fitting that we have a group of from the guiding movement here tonight, because Elizabeth was very involved in guiding. That's where she probably started her volunteer work. And she was still involved with her girls right up until this fall, and it was where she had a passion for her community, but that's where it started. So when I see a group here tonight, like we have the Pathfinders here from Chamberlain's, she started as a guider, and, she was a trailblazer for women. And it brought her to municipal politics. And I can tell you, she had plans for herself for much more than that. And it's unfortunate she didn't get the opportunity, because she certainly was a great representative. She was a strong advocate for equality, inclusion, and women in politics. She supported initiatives like Equal Voice and the Women's Caucus of Municipalities NL. In 2022, she received a Women of Inspiration Award from Municipalities NL, in recognition for her work advocating and supporting women. And in her personal life, her work life, she worked in a non-traditional role. She was a surveyor in the field, is where she started, and worked with transportation infrastructure in a management role in more recently. So everything she did was forging a path so that young women like the group we have here tonight, your doors are going to be more open. There's more doors open to you because of someone like Elizabeth Laurie. And she's going to be greatly missed. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor, and thank you all. It's over the past number of months, I guess, maybe even a little bit longer than that, we've watched Elizabeth and fight the cancer, and we've kind of fought right along with her, and as Councillor Hilliard noted, that pretty well all of us are touched in some way by this terrible disease. I know my family has as well, and I like to just say that the ferocity and the dignity in which she fought this disease right to the end was an inspiration, and I think it sets a template for how to do it, and she will be missed, that's for sure. So I know that Elizabeth Laurie, councillor in Paradise, would like us to get back to work, people's business here in CBS, just like she wants her colleagues in Paradise to keep fighting for what's right for the residents in her town. We'll do that starting now here in this town with her memory in mind. So we'll start, Councillor Tilley. Do you have something for the go around tonight in new business?
Yes, there we go. What a difference 2 weeks makes. I believe when we left this council chambers 2 Tuesday nights ago, I could probably go home, mow my grass. And of course, in the span of 2 weeks, we've had almost 100 centimeters of snow. And so, of course, there's some positive and not so positive things that happened as a result of that. We're right dead smack in the middle of our Winterfest, and believe it or not, a lot of our activities got postponed or canceled as a result of too much snow. So we're certainly trying to fit in those this week and next for sure. And of course, one of the bad things that comes with a lot of snow is that it puts a lot of strain on our public works department, and it also puts a lot of strain on residents with regards to whether or not they think that their road is plowed in a timely fashion. So we just kindly ask for residents to be patient. It's not like cleaning out our own driveway. We got 400 kilometers of by road to clear, and that's only clear. So that doesn't mean it got anything to do. Once we clear and widen everything, now there's a fair section of the town we gotta remove the snow. And of course, it's not like we can just go out and dump it at the end of any street or out in the water. We got specific places where we're allowed to put it as per federal guidelines. So we just ask residents to be patient with us over the next little while. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Tilley. Councillor Hardy, do you want to follow that one up?
Yes, sure. Sorry, caught me off guard again. Yes, to the snow clearing. What I would say to that, we've got a lot of snow. There's over 90 centimeters of snow. So what I've been saying to a lot of people who are, stuck working from home now because schools have been closed or businesses have been closed, is be kind to yourself. Give yourself the latitude to, deal with what's in front of us. It's not like last year when we probably only had a couple of centimeters of snow. So we also have to be kind to our snowplow operators and all of our operators who are doing their best to get all of the roads cleared in a timely fashion, but they also have to be safe in doing that. Some of these operators are working 14, 16-hour days. So there does come a time when people actually have to tap out for a safety reason. So just be kind. Everyone's trying to do their best. We're not trying to put someone's road ahead of someone else's. There is a clearly defined path and a mechanism on how all the roads are cleared. So I guess that's for the snow. Big thing a couple of weeks ago on February 8th, we recognized 13 local businesses who've been operating in the town for over 50 years. So that night we actually congratulated them. We talked about some stories. A lot of the businesses were friends of each other. So there was a couple of good stories shared in between on how their business came up through and, even their families and stuff. So it was a real nice evening. It was held at the SS Meagle Lounge up in Upper Gullies. And the town staff, it was Rebecca, Jennifer, and sorry, names catch me, Kylie. What a beautiful evening you guys put off. Huge congrats, everyone. Congratulated the town staff or the councillors that evening, but in the background, you three ladies put off a fabulous event. And the layout, the function, job well done. So many accolades for that evening. Good job. And then we had the pancake breakfast. I think this is my favorite Winterfest item that we go to. Besides everything else, I don't know what it is, but feeding all the families and the kids and the nans and pops that early morning is it's so much fun. I don't know how many times we ran out of pancakes. They were coming. It's not like we ran out of food. The demand was there, and we were the staff in the back. They were certainly doing their best, but we can only give out 2 slices of bologna, not 4 slices that the person who was on the bologna station was doing, which was affecting us. But yeah, MP Ken McDonald, we had lots of fun, lots of laughter, and him giving out lots of bologna. So lots of stuff happening, and that's it for me. Thanks, Mayor Bent.
Thank you, Councillor Hardy. Councillor Barrett.
Thank you, Your Worship. There we go. I just want to quickly follow up on a couple of things that a couple of councillors have said already. Councillor Hardy mentioned the 13 or 14 businesses recognized. It was a really enjoyable evening, a lot of positive feedback from businesses and all attendees. And while we might not have a 50th recognition party event every year, I do believe we're going to be recognizing 50th businesses every year, with their little plaque and those types of things. I think it's a very important milestone for businesses in our community, and we will keep celebrating those victories for folks. Also, as Councillor Tilley noted, with the weather lately, past couple of weeks has been challenging with other activities we have going on Winterfest. And so we've had a lot of fun already with our pancake breakfast and our fun day at Parsons and shield hockey tournaments and all of those things. But a lot of things have been postponed and are in the process of being rescheduled. And so I did want to highlight a few things that are being rescheduled already. The Valentine Trivia Night at Mayos River. It was originally February 15th. It's moved to February 22nd. Same time, same place. The Annie Parsons and Fred Squire Shield Games, Game 2, it was originally February 15th. It's moved to February 25th at the Conception Bay South Arena. Annie Parsons game is 7:05. Fred Squires is at 8:25 p.m. And that's also the same day as the alumni games. I think there was a friendly wager going on among council here. Those are going ahead on Sunday, February 25th at 5 p.m. and 5:50 p.m. Youth Paint Night was originally February 18th. It's moved to the 25th. And lastly, Snowshoe and Campfire, CBS Arena to Nugent's Park. It was originally Valentine's Day. It's moved to February 28th. So those are a few events that we're trying to get rescheduled. There might be others that will be updated in the coming days. And so really happy all of the uptake in these events with Winterfest thus far, and we'll keep the momentum going until the end of February into March if we have to, depending on the weather. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you, Councillor Barrett. Councillor Butler.
Thank you, Your Worship. Like all the councillors around the table here this evening, we were all pretty busy with the Winterfest activities, and as per usual, I was busy too. But I started off with the talent show, so that was last Friday night, and that was quite enjoyable. We had 12 different acts and great performances by a number of the youth and some adult performances, and it was a great crowd there also, so that was quite enjoyable. I popped my head in for the badminton tournament. I'm a very good friend of Jim and Olive Webb and knew Jim really well, and that's always a big hit. Badminton is a great sport, and I watched both my kids enjoy it for years and years, and I enjoyed it myself. So it was great to see that keep going too. The downtown CBS hosted hot chocolate at Community Park skating, and what a crowd was there last Saturday. It was a beautiful day, and they ran out of hot chocolate, but now they had a lot there, so they served a lot of people. Winter Fun Day in Parsons Field went off really well, and I know that Councillor Barrett had a fine time sliding, from what I understand. His children did anyway. Special Olympics. Now, the mayor and deputy mayor and myself, we karaoke'd while we had a time, and they certainly loved it. A lot of the adults afterwards, chaperones and parents, came over to me after and did say specifically, they just loved that the mayor and deputy mayor were there, and it sort of encouraged them, more of them, to get up and join in the karaoke. So they were very happy to see us all there. And there is video to prove it, by the way. A couple of bingo games on the go, one at Aurora and one at Admiral's Coast that I was part of, and the mayor and Andrea and Melissa. No, Andrea wasn't. No, you weren't at the bingos, were you? Melissa and myself and the mayor. Right, at bingos, and there's another one coming up Thursday at Heritage. And last but not least, the Seniors Valentine Social, which is always a big hit. And myself and Deputy Mayor and the Mayor were there and had a wonderful time. And thanks to all the people who were there that helped out, what a crowd was there. It was amazing, and they had a great time. So it was a fun week, and lots of things to do, lots to enjoy, and I look forward to this every year. But now we got to turn the table now, and we got to start going on about the soiree. So that'll be the next thing. So great times. Thanks, Mayor.
Well, with the weather we've had, we can't start talking about soiree soon enough in my book, I can tell you. Councillor Hillier.
Yes, Your Worship, I won't continue on with Winterfest. I think we've hit on all the items, and certainly it's been a great bit of fun, even though we've probably a little bit more snow than we hoped to. One thing, Your Worship, you don't know when you're going to run across young residents of Conception Bay South out there doing well in their chosen fields. Ran across a young man this week by the name of Nick Anthony. Nick has recently graduated from Gander Flight School in the top of his class and has accepted a position with Eva's Air. So I want to congratulate Nick and wish him good luck, and perhaps sometime I can sit behind him in some jet or plane or whatever as we travel. The other person I want to wish the best of luck to, Your Worship, is Jenna Lake. Jenna is a volleyball player at Acadia University. She's had a great season personally. Her team finished in first place in the AUS, and they're currently getting on with their semifinals. So I want to wish Jenna and all of the Acadiacs women best of luck in their semifinals and hopefully on into the finals later on in the week. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you, Councillor Hillier. Councillor Connors.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'm not going to go over the Winterfest thing. I'll just say about the pancake breakfast that they put me on eggs first. And I thought someone told me to fill up the plates. And I filled up the plates. And then we were slowly, but we never ran out of eggs. We were just going through more eggs than what we should have. So I don't know if I'm going to get reappointed to that position next year. I'll have to campaign for it, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, then Councillor Tilley took it over, and he was very, very efficient on the eggs. I wanted to talk tonight about the ATV pilot project and just give an update on that. So for those who are not familiar with it, it is to put two legal routes in Conception Bay South where ATV users can ride there that will be approved for ATV use. I wanted to once again say that we are going through a process that we need to follow as per the Municipalities Act, and when we're introducing new regulations, and the ATV regulations are new, of course, to Conception Bay South. So the draft regulations are prepared, and they've been reviewed by Council and the ATV Advisory Committee. These regulations now have to go through a legal review, so they're gone to legal counsel, and we're hoping to have that completed in a short order. And then we'll have our next step, which would be the public consultation, and it's the intention of council to have that public consultation in March. And then finally, hopefully, we're still on target to have everything implemented by May 15th. For the ATV users in Conception Bay South. So that's just a quick update on that. And finally, I just wanted to give a shout out to all the athletes and coaches from Conception Bay South who are heading out to Gander for the 2024 Newfoundland Labrador Winter Games. We're here worried about our snow. I guess they were probably out there saying we need snow for the games. They probably got more than what they need now, but once again, it should make for a very successful Winter Games. Just want to say to the athletes and coaches that are going to enjoy the experience, have fun, and because I know that you're going to do the best that you can for and represent Conception Bay South well. So good luck to all the athletes and coaches, etc., from Conception Bay South. And that's it for me.
Thank you, Councillor Connors. I was out in Grand Falls, Windsor a few years ago for the Winter Games. I'm not sure what year that would have been, but it's somewhere around between 2008, 2009, somewhere in there, maybe 2010. And they had to bring snow in for the cross-country skiing and dump it on the trailway. And that was Grand Falls, Windsor in February. So you never know. We might have their.
I was there for that games, and I actually coached the hockey team from Conception Bay South.
There you go.
Which actually won the gold medal.
Excellent.
For hockey in Conception Bay South. It is the last team that won individual representation, organization representation, because after that they went to zonal teams. So Conception Bay South will always have that we were the last team to win the gold medal as an organization.
Maybe you should be like John Tortorella. They just keep bringing you back to coach and so forth. So maybe they need you back there. Well, all right. Nothing speaks louder than results, Councillor Connors, Coach Connors. Councillor Shelley Morris.
Thank you, Mayor Bent. I just want to mention that at I think our second last Winterfest meeting, and we were just going over all the final events that we were having. The last thing that we said was, now everyone just wish for snow. So I think in next year, we'll have to be a little more specific and not so much snow it's going to shut and cancel half the events, but our wish did come true. But I did just want to give a huge shout out to the recreation staff. The amount of hours that are spent to pull off the Winterfest event is a lot, and the effort that goes into it, and they do a phenomenal job, and it wouldn't happen without them. So I just want to congratulate them and thank them for all the hard work that they do. And I am going to give a shout out to the Villanova Vipers because they did win the male grade 7, 8, and 9 shield last night over Frank Roberts. And I know the girls team won against Frank Roberts, so that's going to a game 3. So big congratulations to them. And I also wanted to wish all the athletes that are going to the Winter Games. It's some of the best experiences you'll have traveling with friends from your community and participating in sports. So wish them all the best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Morris. And I think we know these games are all about the food. What do you got to eat? All right. I think that's what we hear at the end of every games. Deputy Mayor Goss.
I'm going to be short and sweet. I just want to say thank you to our Winterfest committee and our recreation department for all the hard work over the last 10 days. And they work day and night. Events are on the go, you know, at all different times and 7 days a week. So we have some really great volunteers. The first night of Winterfest, I was at the talent show, and the same volunteers that were there at the talent show were at the craft beer night that I attended there just on Friday night. And so, you know, very great people, but no surprise because our community, when you put a call out for volunteers, they come and, you know, do a great job. So, yeah, that's pretty much all. I just wanted to say thank you to the volunteers and our recreation staff. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Just a couple of things about Winterfest. The Special Olympics Games Day was a great bit of fun. And as Councillor Butler noted, myself and herself and Deputy Mayor Goss participated in a viral karaoke version of Sweet Caroline, I think it was, yeah. And it inspired others, as you said, to get up and partake in the karaoke. And it was a great bit of fun. And I think that probably my singing ability inspired others to grab the microphone and sing afterwards so that I couldn't get another shot at it. But we had a great bit of fun, and the games was it was an event that was a great success. And I look forward to having that included as part of our soirees and our Winterfest and so forth going forward. We had a great bit of fun there, and everybody seemed to. Yeah, so when the Winterfest pancake breakfast, I think somebody said we served nearly 3,000 pancakes that morning. And I know they were in varying sizes, so it could have been more than that. You never know, depends on how you count your pancakes. But it was great musical entertainment. And I think somebody said possibly around 1,200. Is that right? 1,200 people went through there to have a free breakfast. And it was a great fun to join council and MHAs and MP for the area to serve it up. And Miss Newfoundland and Labrador, Megan Coles, joined us for that event and had a great time at her first pancake breakfast. So it was a great success. And the seniors Valentine's social was great as well, and a full house again. And like some councillors have said, you know, the recreation staff have been sideways now the last week or so. And of course, we've had all kinds of snow. If we don't get rained out now, hopefully we'll be able to finish some of the Winterfest stuff this year. Maybe we'll get the shield in before the next shield is done. That'd be great. But anybody that's been to any of the events become very familiar with a couple of our recreation staff who do a great job on site, and Carla and Natasha go above and beyond. And if you've been to any of those events, you probably know who they are anyway. But it's a great job by them. And Nick, pass along to all your staff. It's been fantastic. There's always bumps in the road because it's winter. It doesn't matter. Is there too much snow, not enough snow? It's always something. So, but we'll get it done. And it's been a great year for Winterfest. And thank you for that. And bingo. I called some bingo at Admiral's Coast last week, And I'd never called bingo before. And after I was done, one of the ladies asked me, or said to me that I don't call bingo very much, do I? And no, no, I don't. So, maybe I was going a little too fast, but I'll work on my pacing for the Heritage Square, see if we can get that down a little bit better. But it was a great group down there, and it was great to be there. And and I think it's fantastic that we include our seniors complexes in our Winterfest celebrations. Finally, I think we started that last year, and it's great to do that, and look forward to doing it again, of course. Just on another note, hats off to our snow clearing crews, whether they're on the sidewalk clearing or the plows or the salt trucks or whatever it is. It's easy to criticize, when you're not used to seeing snow on the ground, but it happens every winter. And this winter, it's happened quite a bit in a short period of time. And these folks do a great work, many of them working long hours. And you got to think about the work environment, being sat in the cab of a plow for, 8 to 10 hours out of a day. You get your breaks and you get your lunch and so forth, but you have to be on the whole time. There's no, you can't close your eyes, right? You have to be awake, and you have to be on. You have to be at the controls. And it's a bit of hard work. And we had last week, the snow conditions we had were wet and heavy, and it exacerbated some of the work that they were doing. And that's hard on them too. It's more work going back and forth. And I think they do a tremendous job given the circumstances. And they've been pushed to the hilt this year continuously for about a week. And they're going to continue over the next few days, and they're doing a great job in my view. So hats off to them and all the efforts they make. And I guarantee you that nothing's perfect when you got snow like this, and you got road conditions the way we have them in the areas that they have to do. And if every house were the same distance apart, and every driveway were in the same place on every street, and the streets are all the same length and all connected, it might be a little quicker and a little easier. But they're not. We're in Conception Bay South, and we have all kinds of streets and different types of setups and so forth that they have to contend with. So my hat's off to them. Just on another note, with regards to the clearing of our sidewalks, and we prioritize school zones. So we clear the snow first in the school zones for the students to have to either walk to school or do walk to school. Their parents walk them to school. And something that concerns me, and I think it concerns all of us, is that, and I know that you got to get your driveway plowed. I know that you got to get your parking lot plowed for your business, but please don't block off the sidewalk in that cleaning effort. If you've left snow that blocks off a sidewalk, it forces our residents, our children, our students out into the street to go out around it and back. And I saw this at about 7 or 8 different places when I drove through the other day. So when you clear your driveway, when you clear your parking lot, clear the area that you put snow in that covers up part of the sidewalk that stops people from being able to use the sidewalk that's cleared. Our hats off to our crew that went back. They've had to redo them a couple of times just because of that. So when you're clearing snow, please make sure that you don't block off the sidewalks, okay? The other thing that I want to say, and I know we're putting out some social media, I believe tonight or tomorrow morning, but there's piles of snow are high, and we're coming out the end of streets. We have to stick our nose out a little bit further than normal on all streets, just about. And that's just the nature of how much snow we've got. But please be careful for young people, for anybody walking. There's not as much room. You don't have as much vision. Please slow down and watch for them. And I ask parents and young people alike to be very mindful that the cars and the traffic that go around the town can't see as easily as they normally would either. So please be very, very careful. Make sure there was an old thing they used to promote back when I was younger, whatever year that was. See and be seen, right? See and be seen. It's just as important today, I think, as it was then. Make sure that if you're out somewhere, there's vehicles that they can see you. Right? And make sure that you can see them. Be mindful of that. And as well for our drivers, be extra careful. street entrances that were easily visible before, now maybe blind entrances because of piles of snow that have been plowed up. So please be extremely careful. And I have one last thing before we get into the big business of the town, but last week we had the opportunity as a council to meet with a representative from the province's Department of Digital Government and Service, NL, to talk about the traffic camera pilot program. And of course, recently government released the results of their pilot program that they undertook on the streets in Mount Pearl and in Paradise over 3 months. And quite frankly, the results were alarming. I think they found over 90,000 infractions for speed on the streets. They only have one camera in place in each municipality, and they moved it a couple of times, but they come up with over 90,000 speeding infractions. And that was a minimum of 11 kilometers over the speed limit. They didn't pick up anything. If you're going 8, didn't pick you up. They still had 90,000, and a good percentage of them were 20 kilometers over the speed limit. So because of that, and because of our concern for safety here as a council in Conception Bay South and the concerns of our residents, we reached out to the department because we wanted to learn more about the program and where it was going and how it would work and so forth. So we did that. We had a meeting with a representative from the department. And as it turns out, there are many things left to work out. They've got their results. They've tried it. They've worked with one particular vendor for the cameras and so forth, and they're working to finalize how it would roll out for anywhere else, any other municipality, or of course on provincial roads itself and how that would work. So they're going to keep us up to date on how that goes and the answers they get there. And we'll be keenly interested to find out, to see if it's something that would possibly work for here. But of course, we want to make sure that it fits within our needs, it fits within our budget, and is something that we can work with here in Conception Bay South if we so desire and if our residents so desire. So we are interested. We've had the meetings, and we'll continue to be updated by the department on how their progress and figuring out how they want to roll it out will go. All right. From there, we go to the Planning and Development Committee report, and I want to thank our guests for hanging on for this long. We're going to stop talking now as open conversation and go to our committee reports from the week. And each week, our committees have meetings. They make recommendations to council. Those recommendations come here, and they're brought forward, and we vote on them. So here we go. With Planning and Development Committee, the chair is Councillor Gerard Tilley.
Thank you, Your Worship. The following are recommendations of our Planning and Development Committee meeting held on February 12th. Item 6A, 2571 Topsail Road. Your Worship, I have to declare a conflict of interest as my mother-in-law resides very near that particular piece of property. So I'll pass it over to Councillor Hillier.
Also, Councillor, I also declare a conflict on this matter. I live near the property as well.
Okay, thank you. So when a councillor declares a conflict of interest, they're not permitted to vote on the motion, but can stay within the room until the motion is voted on and dealt with. Okay, so take us away, Councillor Hillier.
Your Worship, recommendation 6A 2571 Topsail Road. Be it so resolved that in accordance with sections 10.7 and 10.12.2 of the town's development regulations, application number 3579 received on December 22nd, 2023, proposing to serve alcohol to clients within the existing personal service salon at 2571 Topsail Road be approved. So moved.
Seconder, Councillor Butler, discussion?
Yes, Your Worship, this is not a situation where someone's opening a new bar in the area. There's an existing business there, a spa, and they just wish to serve alcohol while people are doing spa things.
No, you're not going to expand on what the spa things might be?
I don't do
Councillor?
spa things.
Okay. I wouldn't have been able to, I wouldn't have known that, Councillor Hillier.
Someone else would like to speak to the motion and explain the spa things. We could.
Well, you started it. All in favor?
All right.
Contrary minded? Carried. Thank you, Councillor Hillier.
Thank you, Worship.
It's unfortunate I can't comment on that, but I'll leave it at that. Item 6B, 21A Shetland Place. Be it so resolved that in accordance with sections 10.8 and 10.11 of the town's development regulations, that application number 3620 received on January 30th, 2024 to operate a dog boarding and dog daycare business as a home occupation at 21A Shetland Place be refused as the use is not permitted within the R2 land use zone. So moved.
Seconder, Councillor Moores, discussion?
Yes, Your Worship, unfortunately, our regulations prohibit a pet service, pet sitting service and home-based business within the residential medium density zone.
Okay, so it's not discretionary. Even if we wanted to approve it, we wouldn't have the right under our regulations.
That's correct.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
Item 6C, number 2, number 10, Buckley's Path. Be it so resolved that in accordance with section 15 of the Urban and Rural Planning Act 2000, proposed municipal plan amendment number 33 and development regulations amendment number 53, 2024 regarding proposed rezoning of civic number 2 to 10 Buckley's Path be referred to the Department of Municipal and Provincial Affairs to determine and comment on any provincial interests. So moved.
Seconder, Deputy Mayor Goss, discussion?
Yes, Your Worship, the committee considered the written submissions and discussions that were held at the public information session on February 1st. The committee also considered the nature of the applicant's similar developments in the town and determined that many of the concerns may not come to realization. This proposal will add 15 affordable homes to the town. There's a market segment that is in great demand right now. That demand will likely increase as more longtime residents of the town choose to downsize in their later years so that they can live without worry and responsibility that comes with home ownership. Tonight's decision simply refers to the provincial government for their comments. The file will then come back for at least one more decision of council, and if at that time council adopts the rezoning, there will be a formal public hearing with a commissioner who is independent from council so that any concerns of the community can be given further consideration.
Okay, so the process will continue then on this recommendation.
correct.
Any further comments? All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried.
Item 6D, Lawrence Pond Estates, Phase 8. Be it so resolved that in accordance with section 7.7 of the town's development regulations, application number 2507 received on February 1st, 2023, a 23-unit subdivision, which is Phase 8 of the Lawrence Pond Estates subdivision at civic number 2-10 Comerford Road, be approved in principle with a variable building line setback with a minimum setback of 8 meters. So moved.
Seconder, Councillor Hillier, discussion?
Yes, Your Worship, the committee is happy to see that this development is now progressing. This next and final phase of the development for Lawrence Pond Estates will involve a construction of a new cul-de-sac street off Comerford Road between Route 60 and Maya Place. This development will include smaller semi-detached homes that will be targeted to our aging population. We're also happy to note that before this phase is ready for occupancy, the developer will be installing the playground equipment for the subdivision near Tamara Place and Augustus Avenue.
Any further comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
Excuse me, Councillor Tilly. I have to declare a conflict on the committee meeting minutes.
Okay.
As I have a family resident who owns the 56 Daniels Road residence, and a family member also lives there.
Mayor Bent, I declared a conflict on one of the items that was discussed there. It's in the department report, the Mountbatten Estates, Phase 3, as I have involved in that development.
Yes, Your Worship, before I call for the blanket recommendation, just want to let the public know that we had a public hearing scheduled for tomorrow evening with an independent commissioner regarding a proposed rezoning at civic number 1496 Conception Bay Highway. We have since made a decision to cancel that hearing as we only received one concern from a resident via telephone. And they were happy with the answer, and they made it known that they will not be attending that tomorrow night. So we made the decision to cancel that public hearing. And the blanket committee report, be it so resolved that the discussions and decisions of our February 12th, 2024 Planning and Development Committee meeting be accepted as presented. So moved.
Seconder. Counselor Hardy, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
And that's it from the Planning and Development Board.
Thank you, Counselor Tilly. So next we have recommendations of Engineering and Public Works Committee. Chair is Counselor Melissa Hardy.
Thank you, Your Worship. 7A, approval to purchase 2024 trackless municipal tractor. Be it so resolved that approval be given to purchase a 2024 trackless MT7 articulating tractor with snow clearing equipment from Saunders Equipment through Canoe Procurement at a cost of $202,775 plus HST, and funds are available in our capital fleet account. So moved.
Seconder. Counselor Butler, discussion.
I think everyone knows we need it. This fleet is used for the sidewalk snow clearing and salting, and it's actually going to replace one of a piece of equipment that's 12 years old. So certainly need it.
All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried.
Before I read out our blanket statement there from our committee meeting, I'm just going to provide a brief update on the town's current snow clearing operations. I know we've all kind of chit-chatted throughout the evening, but more of a detailed overview here now. So we've received approximately 90 centimeters of snowfall since Wednesday morning, the highest accumulation since January 2020, which we all refer to as Snowmageddon. So it's no secret that our heavy equipment operators and staff have been working tirelessly, putting extended shifts, extra hours to ensure our roads and sidewalks and our facility parking lots are kept safe and accessible. We certainly alluded to earlier that staff are working 12 to 16 hours. But I'd like to extend a huge thank you to the town staff, the council, everyone working around the clock to keep the community safe. So lots of work being done behind the scenes. So as it stands right now, our focus will be on snow clearing of the town streets and street widening with a special emphasis on priority 1 sidewalks, including those in school zones and on collector streets. Once this initial phase is complete, attention will shift towards snow removal around fire hydrants, traffic lights, intersections, and cul-de-sacs. We anticipate this to begin Friday morning, pending favorable weather, because there's certainly stuff in the forecast again. In the meantime, we kindly ask for your assistance in clearing fire hydrants, if you're able to, wherever possible. It's also important to note that equipment breakdown due to continuous use and heavy snow has been causing delays in our snow clearing and our salting efforts. Repairs are priority and progressing. We appreciate the public's patience and understanding during this time. I guess just for everyone's awareness, snow clearing for the priority streets and sidewalks reset after each snow event that exceeds 5 centimeters. And larger snowfall events, those exceeding 15 centimeters, results in our snow clearing timelines obviously being extended beyond our regular service levels. So just to put a bit of context around what we're working with, we have 240 kilometers of road, which actually equates to 480 lanes of kilometers. So if you think about that, from the town hall to Grand Falls, just past Grand Falls is what our operators are working with. So certainly a large area that everyone's working to. And I guess a couple of safety reminders. Some of these have already been mentioned, certainly want to re-mention them. Please do not deposit snow from your driveways out into the sidewalks or town roads. This is strictly prohibited and enforced through the town's traffic regulations. Parents, guardians, please teach your kids to never play on snowbanks or near roads or areas where large snow clearing equipment is being used. I actually had to call my kids in, doing the same thing, building tunnels, big banks, trying to build tunnels. So tried to explain to them, they're not going to hear a plow coming down the road when they have a little tunnel dug around, and the equipment operator is not going to see you. So just tried to explain that to them until they understood. And also the on-street parking ban is in effect. So we certainly appreciate everyone paying attention to this. Our roads are narrow right now until we're able to get our widening done. And the on-street parking ban is restricted. Parking times has a significant impact on the heavy equipment maneuvering around those services. And just the visibility around the high snowbank. So just take your time when you're easing out of your driveways, as equipment could be coming around a corner. So with all that said, be it so resolved that the recommendation and decisions of the Engineering and Public Works Committee held on February 14th be accepted as presented. So moved.
Seconder, Council Connors, discussion.
Just one thing to add. With respect to the equipment that's being down, I mean, our equipment was in tip-top shape before the winter, like it was all good to go. It's not like we were sitting on anything, waiting to do repairs, right? I mean, if you think about the amount of time and effort it takes to do your driveway, and then you think about the 480-kilometer when you consider both lanes, like it's a wear and tear on the vehicle, guys.
Yeah.
Like we're not sitting on stuff.
Yeah.
Like it just takes, it's a lot to do, 90+ centimeters of snow, right? So again, kudos to all of our staff, all those folks on the road, trying to clean up the town. You're doing a great job. It's taken time, and we certainly appreciate the patience everybody has in getting this town cleaned up.
Yep.
Nobody's snow blower breaks until you use it. That's just the way it
Exactly.
goes. Where are we? Are we ready for a vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Hardy. Recommendations of Recreation and Leisure Services Committee Chair, Councillor Josh Barrett. And Councillor Barrett, that first recommendation is going to make me hungry now because
Oh, make us all hungry.
getting later now.
Our 4:30 p.m. lunch is quickly waning away from me. Yes, recommendation 8A. Be it so resolved that the town proceed to call an expression of interest for mobile food truck opportunities for the year 2024. So moved.
Seconder, Councillor Butler, discussion.
Just want to say farewell, folks.
Yes, thank you everyone for coming. Our Pathfinders are just
Thank you.
leaving the chamber now. And thank you for sticking it out. And if you're having trouble sleeping, you can watch this again on YouTube a little later. Now, thank you for coming. We look forward to the tour a little later on. Take care now. Councillor Barrett.
Sorry, yes. I just want to mention we've been going back and forth the past couple of years to try and come up with a expression of interest for mobile food truck vendor opportunities. We floated this out last year. We're doing it again this year. And what we're interested in seeking is vendors for particularly during the summer months at Topsail Beach and at the community park. Worth noting, the community park actually has a vendor placement right by our outdoor stage, not at anywhere else. It's a designated spot. And so we've been, again, updating our documents. We know that this particular period of time is when vendors are preparing their priorities for the summer months. And certainly these areas, and by all means, Kilguswari, we welcome all vendors to come out and serve the residents and tourists for our community. So that's what this expression is intended for this evening.
Okay, you got through. Okay, good. Any other comments then? All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried. Thank you.
Excellent. 8B. Approval to tender wastewater treatment roof replacements. Be it so resolved that approval be given to award Cronin's Head wastewater treatment plant roof replacements to JMJ Holdings for $1,103,419.25, including HST. So moved.
Seconder, Councillor Hillier, discussion.
Yes, your worship. So this is something that certainly has been on the radar for us as council for some time. This was included in our request for gas tax in our priority list. And we are using our gas tax money to fund this. The wastewater treatment plant is 23 years old and it still has its original roof. And so we were replacing the roof on both of those buildings. And this is the cost that it takes with the cost of materials and to do this work. This is the number we're looking at now. So, but it is covered under gas tax.
Any other discussion? You'd think with $1.1 million, they'd round the pennies off. I'll throw in the 25 cents myself, I
You would
guess.
hope, no, but they're pretty
Yes.
keen on that quarter. So
Anyways, it's important work and the wastewater management is important to the town, so
yes,
it has to be done. Maintenance as it is.
absolutely.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
All right. And so we just have the blank recommendation 9C. The Recreation and Leisure Services Committee report, be it so resolved that the recommendations and decisions of the Recreation and Leisure Services Committee meeting of February 13th be accepted as presented. So moved.
Seconder, Counselor Morris. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
That's it for me. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you, Counselor Barrett. Recommendations of Financial Administrative Services Committee Chair is Deputy Mayor Goss.
Thank you, Mayor Bent. So the recommendations of our Financial and Administrative Services Committee meetings as follows. 9A, accounts payable checks. Be it so resolved that approval be given for accounts payable checks totaling $549,483.82 as per the attached report. So moved.
Seconder, Counselor Barrett. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
9B, manual checks. Be it so resolved that approval be given to ratify the payment of manual checks totaling $15,660.81. So moved.
Seconder, Counselor Morris. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
9C, capital invoice approval. Be it so resolved that approval be given to pay capital invoices totaling $78,012.82 as per the attached report. So moved.
Seconder, Counselor Hardy. Discussion.
There's
Oh.
just a couple of invoices there from last year's projects, just little loose ends that just probably holdbacks and whatnot.
Yeah, there's some late work on the trailway there, probably, Bill.
Oh, there's one there. Yes, there's one there for the engineering. Yes,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
the trailway.
important stuff.
It
All in-
is.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
9D, tax and other receivables adjustments. Be it so resolved that approval be given to adjust tax and other receivable accounts as presented. So moved.
Seconder, Counselor Barrett. Discussion.
These are some, most of this is due to businesses that closed or have been closed for a while and they're just getting old tax accounts straightened away. One business moved, unfortunately, still ongoing, but is moved to another community.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
9E, order 24 Jones Lane. Be it so resolved that the order issued on March 24th, 2023, under the Urban and Rural Planning Act 2000, the Municipalities Act 1999, the Town of Conception Bay South Development Regulations 2011 to 2021, and the Occupancy and Maintenance Regulations, ordering the property owner to either repair or demolish the dwelling situated on the property located at 24 Jones Lane, Conception Bay South, be rescinded. So moved.
Seconder, Counselor Butler. Discussion.
This order was issued as I said, March of last year, and the work has been completed, so now we're rescinding the order.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
And the last item 9F is the department report. Before I bring that recommendation forward, I just want to mention now, this is February the 20th, and so there's 9 days now left in February. So it's municipal tax time. And if anyone is interested in, if they're a senior and they are eligible for the discount, they need to get it, need to make arrangements with that before the end of the month. If you're looking to do an equal payment plan, we have an interest-free equal payment plan option. You need to have that, you need to have your, that set up by the end of the month. And our counter service will be, will have an extended hours this Thursday, the 22nd, and the following Thursday, I believe. I just got to check my calendar again. 29th, I'm sorry. Yeah, the 29th, till 7 o'clock for people who are not able to get in during the regular business hours. So, and if by chance you haven't received your bill, please make a call and come looking for it, because it's time to, you know, the time is running out. So on that note, I will read the blanket recommendation. Be it so resolved that the recommendations and decisions made at the Financial and Administrative Services Committee of February 12th, 2024 be accepted as presented. So moved.
Seconder, Councillor Hillier. Discussion. And just on the extended hours, that's the first time, I believe, in the town's history that we've offered extended hours during tax season to allow residents to come in the evening. We're very proud to be able to do that finally. So it is this Thursday and next Thursday
Yeah.
for residents to take advantage of.
There have been people who have asked about it, so now we're providing it, and I hope that
Yeah.
that people do avail of it, of the option to come in and to have counter service till 7 o'clock.
Yeah, and if you can avail of it and it works for you, please do, because we'd like to see some traffic and hopefully continue that for years to come. So that's good. Any other discussion? All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried. Thank you.
And that's it for financial administrative services.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Recommendations of the Economic Development and Tourism Committee. Chair is Councillor Christine Butler.
Thank you, Your Worship. Recommendation 10A, Trans-Canada Trail, Trailway Phase 4 funding. Be it so resolved, oh, can't hear me there now. Be it so resolved that approval be granted to enter into a contribution agreement with Trans-Canada Trail for funding totaling $45,000 to offset costs associated with the Trailway Phase 4 project.
Seconder,
Oh, sorry.
Councillor Connors. Discussion.
Yes, Your Worship. This is additional funds to offset the town's cost for this project, which is now reduced to $220,617 on the $1.49 million project. This constitutes 14%, meaning to date, 86% of the funds for our Trailway Phase 4 project is coming from external sources, which is wonderful.
Yes, we're going to get her done, Councillor Hardy, down in Seal Cove. We're finally going to get this thing finished, and the funding that we've gotten in recently is great, and hopefully there'll be more to come for that. All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried.
And our blanket recommendation for our meeting of February 13th, be it so resolved that the recommendations and decisions made at the Economic Development and Tourism Committee meeting of February 13, 2024 be accepted as presented, and the list is there in the below. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Hillier, discussion. All in favor? Aye. Contrary minded? Carried. Thank you, Councillor Butler. Now we're up to other committee reports. Do we have any other committee reports tonight from anyone? Nope. Okay, good. So we're up to adjournment now. So that's it for this evening. We'll be back again March 5th for our next public meeting. So until then, take a motion for adjournment. Counselor Tilly, seconded by Counselor Barrett. All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried. Thank you and good evening.